Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Sunday, the 20th of November. But first, a quick recap on Saturday's performance. Well, very disappointing, really. It got off to a shocking start when the first horse, pretty much, it did come out the stalls, but not until it lost about 5-10 lengths. So that was basically how things were going to turn out for the rest of the day. Once again, the Ben Paulin trained horse, Nesta Park, ran very well. His horses, to me, they seem a little bit under the radar when it comes to commentators or analysts saying, "Now, well, the Ben Paulin stable's going." So I think we need to take advantage of this until it becomes quite mainstream. The rest of the horses, if I'm being honest, few, well, I won't say unlucky, but disappointing. Some didn't quite run to how I thought they would run to, so obviously the chance was diminished straight away. So let's get into Sundays. Let's move on from that. Anyway, the football. The football was 2 goals short of making Saturday a £7 profitable day. I needed 2 more goals in the Bristol Rovers match. I expected Bristol Rovers to score, but I also expected Peterborough to win. If that had been the case, then Bristol Rovers did score, but unfortunately Peterborough lost the match. So obviously it meant they didn't score. If they'd have won, then would have got the bet up, but it would have been £39 return on a total stake for the day of £32. But anyway, let's get into Sunday. Well, I'm sticking with Ben Paulin. I'm sticking with Ben Paulin, to be fair, to a point where I'm going a little bit in blind with his selections. He's got 4 runners on Sunday, but I've eliminated one of them because I can't have it because it's never ran before. To make the most of the Ben Paulin stable switch and good run of form, I think realistically we need to go for the handicaps. Because obviously the handicap mark is based on last season. Well, by his own remarks, he said his remarks were he had a nothing season. So I think he's got a lot of half decent horses that have got handicap marks where there's room for improvement. And the improvements should come about from the new stable. Because I've seen the new stable only via his website. Take a look. I think it's called Ben Paulin Racing. But just put that into Google and you'll see it. It's different league. It's in the minute. It's not in the minute. It's in the middle of a golf course, or the golf course is surrounding it. And it looks like he's got unbelievable facilities. So anyway, even if he hadn't, the stable's on fire at the moment. So I need to take advantage of this. Don't get me wrong. His stable, it might have 4 losers today, 4 unplaced horses. I don't know, but I've got to stick with the stable. However, the first selection, because it's a Yankee, because I've eliminated one of his horses, I've actually put another one in from a different stable. So let me get straight into it anyway. So there's 4 horses. I haven't put the bet on yet, but I will be doing. As you always know, I have the bets. I wouldn't give a bet out if I didn't put it on myself. So the first selection is Minimum at 10-1 in the 12.48 at Uttoxeter. This horse runs in a novice hurdle. Well, there's question marks over the front 3. The favourite is making his reappearance. Don't get wrong, it could be differently to these lot. The second favourite was carried out on its reappearance. And the third selection, it's actually a horse I quite like, but I can't have it today because I think it's a decent horse, but it's carrying a penalty. And I think personally, it's desperate. It's crying out for further. I'm not sure Uttoxeter will suit it, but don't go on. It could win with its head in its chest. That horse is something like I Love the Nightlife, but I'm not going for that because it's 3-1. I'm going for one of those horses not to run to form and minimum to sneak a place at least. And this horse is 10-1 in the 12.48 at Uttoxeter. I think it's Henry Daly that trains it. It pulled hard last time, don't get me wrong, but it also finished the race pretty well. So let's see what happens. If you don't want that horse, you could quite easily just put the 3 Ben Paulin in, which I'm going to mention, Ben Paulin horses, in a second, and just eliminate that one. But I'm not going to. I'm going to put that one in because I like it. The second selection is Delmar Rocket at 9-2 in the 2.33 at Uttoxeter. When I was doing a bit of research on Ben Paulin, he also gave a stable tour and he gave this horse out as being a bit of a mudlark or each one to follow. Well, I'm certainly going to include it today. And the ground is described as soft. Well, there has been some overnight rain because I live in Nottinghamshire. Uttoxeter is not a million miles away, and I'm expecting them to have had some rain overnight as well. So it's got to be close on heavy ground by now. So yeah, because it's a handicap, I think it should run well because as I said, I think the stable's going well. The third selection is Bow to Greatness. Yeah, don't get me wrong, 3 to 1 is not an each way price, but I think it's got a cracking chance of winning. Bow to Greatness at 3 to 1 in the 225 at Exeter. The final selection is Bangers and Cash at 15 to 2 in the 3 o'clock at Exeter, paying 5 places instead of 3. This is also Ben Pauling. So the stake is a tenner. And this is what the stake is going to be. I'm not going for the singles because there's no point me having a lucky 15 and the only winner is the 3 to 1 and it makes basically a pound back. There's no point when you put a tenner on. So I've gone for a slightly higher stake Yankee. So it's a 25 pence each way Yankee, 40 pence each way trebles, and a 65 pence each way accumulated, just to make it up to a tenner. Ideally, we want, well, like always, we want them all to come in, but I'm like, if we have a couple that don't run to form, it's going to be a losing day. Don't get me wrong, more than likely. But I'm going on the fact, I'm backing the fact that the Ben Pauling stable is going well and he's going to have a good day today. Yeah. So if the horses run well, we're in for a cracking day. If they don't, yeah, it's probably going to be a blank day. So that's how I've approached it anyway. I can't keep putting like singles on horses all looking. It basically costs too much. And even if one of those horses wins, you might stake £20, but you only gain a £5 back or £3 back. I can't see the point really. So the emphasis is on all the horses to run well and to have a decent day. So anyway, the very best of luck. Selections will be available for Monday. It'll be Sunday evening. If you could give this video a real good like, that'd be, well, not a real good like. If you could just give it a like, that'd be great. Or even subscribe to the channel if you're just watching from the distance. Come on, join the fun. It's been a little bit in and out, but we are getting half decent returns. As a few said in the comments, I do feel we are close to hitting a nice return. When will that be? I don't know. I sincerely, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I used that word wrong there. I honestly think there will be a decent return between now and Christmas. So fingers crossed anyway. I don't think we're too far away. The very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.